What is up? It is your boy Anecdotal, and today a video that has been long time in the making, a full complete run of Outland Battle on normal mode. So first things first, I'm all about the offense. Cat Knight needs to be equipped, as well as just skipping the first few stages and pressing complete now, because if not, let me tell you, man, this video right here would be well over the time limit that anybody would want to watch any video ever. Like, it'd be as long as a movie. It would have taken just forever and a half. So let's go ahead and start off here where I can no longer press complete now to finish the stages, which means that this probably will only take me one go or maybe 2 attacks. So let's see how everything is. Don't worry for all of you guys that are watching this on computers or laptops or something. Oh, looks like 1 hit. You don't really need to worry about anything. I made sure to rotate all of the fights so everything is good for your viewing pleasure and all of that and such. So Outland Battle has changed crazily. The whole thing is different. The setup has changed. Now, I don't know what the official greatest setup is. I haven't really seen anything on Discord where people just said, hey, we need to be using this. But I thought the best way to make sure that buffs stay active is to have at least one of every unit. And since the new units are even squishier than Valkyrie, I made sure to put Valkyrie in first and then went ahead and put in the other 2 units, just one after the other. That way they will always be up. So you see, everyone else died. Valkyrie's here at the end, and at the end there were still 2. Now these guys right here, the calves, oh man, they just never go away. They're just way too strong. But as you can see, I am not struggling at all. So the first 16 stages have been nothing but pie. And here is probably where it's gonna take me more than 2 attacks to finish off an opponent, and things are gonna start getting real. Now, if I was looking at it in the way of like net gain and how I can get the most amount of pets possible, or at least pet fragments possible, I would definitely not go ahead and continue playing normal mode after the Scorpion right here, or maybe even after the Harpy, and start playing hard mode so I can get more pet fragments. But let's go ahead and look at this fight. Every single boss, at least for the normal mode, has specific attacks that you want to watch out for. This guy, the Scorpion, is when he digs in right after his primary attack and he pops out, normally would kill you, and right after that does some sort of a poisony sort of gas attack right there. And you really want to watch out for that, because that will absolutely decimate you. As you can see right there, I didn't have a heal to proc my invincibility or my immunity to damage, so I was just, there was nothing I could have done, and that's as far as I could take that match. And man, look at that. So usually I would just kind of cancel it out, but these are skeleton warriors. I have 5 of them at T3. This was like before Outland Battle. I just didn't know what to do and just felt like transing 5 because I was a noob. But it does pay off here, and you can see that skeleton warrior at T3 makes a huge difference. And if I were to have 20 skeleton warriors, this would be even easier. Like, you saw that even though heroes here get the biggest bump, the most damage and benefit, that the last person to stay standing was a small T3 unit named Skeleton Warrior. You'll see the same thing for Cavalry Knight. Wait, not Cavalry Knight. What's his name? The 2-star human unit. I forgot what it's called. But wow. And here you go, man. You just see Skeleton Warrior is there. This is probably just the 5 that I T3'd. It's really hard to count, but I'm just gonna assume that it's those exact 5 that stayed alive because they just have the power to do so. And once again, I made sure to use my heal always after the preliminary attack, when he went ahead, dug himself into that hole, and used that poison spitter type of attack coming right out of its tail. Right here, and then you'll see he does the little poison thing, and that really does kill you. And the only thing you need to worry about with Scorpion is that one move, and maybe being attacked 2 to 3 times depending on where your health is. Now some people like to switch to Bernard, but I think that the attack power at this point in time is just too high, and that 2 attacks will wipe me out anyways. The thing about Harpy here is that she has multiple attacks, so I'm making sure right here that I could use the air units that I have, and that I could use particular units that can just absorb damage close up, and maybe my range could attack while they tank and distract Harpy, but that doesn't always work out. So here you can see that the huge attack is once again the little fireball thing, which look a lot or akin to the poison attack, and also the little grip thing. All the other attacks, oh actually, yeah, that's the thing I don't like about this. Harpy's, almost all of her attacks are horrible. The little fireball, a lot. The little dashes, nothing. But the little stingy attacks here, where she just kind of grabs onto you or clutches you with the claw, is huge DPS, and definitely not something that I want to deal with there. So, oh man, what is this? See, this little burst looks like a gust attack or just like a pushback. Doesn't really do much damage, so that I'm not scared of. Usually when I face Harpy, what I want to do is I want to try to just face tank one strong attack, and then when I see a second strong attack, I'm trying to heal as quickly as possible. Well, that's just not always something I can do, which is why right over here around this Harpy stage, it's usually the last boss that I would try to attack and beat, and then I'll go to hard mode and get as many fragments that I can for other pets. And of course there's just more rewards, even though you get slightly more, like you get 5 fragments. If I can complete with 5 attacks 5 stages where I get 3 fragments each, that's a lot more than just 5 fragments for one when I waste all those attacks. But the goal here is for me to beat normal mode for the very first time and see if I can do it really. And what makes it possible again is showcasing these new units, Warbear and Shadow Knight. Now, I contemplated buying more Shadow Knights and more Warbears, and even T3ing some other Valkyries, just so that I will be stronger for Outland Battle. But honestly, I just didn't want to. One, because I didn't have the honor coins and I would need to actually spend real life currency in order to do it. And 2, because this is showing a more realistic side of beating Outland Battle as potentially a free-to-play player. So as long as you just have the units that I have, no extra copies. Yeah, I had 5 skeleton warriors, but I don't think that they really influence the battles that much. You will be able to at least get as far as I do with this round. So here I'm facing the Titan. As you can see, they're all ancient ruin type of beasts or bosses, and hard mode is going to be all burning earth bosses from that raid. And I'm wondering if a very hard mode is going to open soon with Swamp of Death raid type bosses, but I can't, man. I don't know if I'm really going to beat this mode yet, so we're going to have to go ahead and see. I think right around here I only do 8 to 10. So the thing about this Titan, I mean 8 to 10% damage, but this Titan, his large attack is when he does this rush to the ground. He just hits it really hard, and then all these little lines come up. That is his super strong attack. Now he also has some sneaky attacks, which is honestly just his movement. When he moves, it's actually a dash, and you'll see that you lose some HP, and sometimes you'll even lose a unit to that. So you do want to be careful with that. He never just moves, and there you go. That's his really big attack. That's the one that I always want to make sure that I press the heal button and have some immunity towards. So these little units, oh, infantry. So these infantry units here, are they called infantry? Well, those armored little guy humans right there. The thing about them is that they have 99% immunity to just damage, so they pretty much never die. They do, but it takes a long time, and they're usually going to be the last units on stage, though they have close to no attack. But what I do is I just start cutting some of the attack off when only they survive, and try to get at least an extra 1% or even a 0.5 of 1% because they just stay alive for so long and do so much damage, or you know, a small amount of damage that sooner or later adds up. Over 10 attacks, they do a good 5% damage. And seeing that I can only do around 8 to 10 or maybe a little more or less every time I do an attack, that percent actually adds up. So if you're having issues winning a fight and you're noticing that it's really by a small percentage, like somewhere around 10% or less, you should actually play out your matches instead of doing what I'm doing and I'm just cutting them off for the video time's sake. But really, I am playing out the vast majority of this fight with these little infantries and doing what I can with those humans. But yeah, the attack, the DPS is just way lower now that I'm against this Titan, and it is not easy, guys. Like I said, at this point, at the end, almost every attack does major DPS. So see there, most of my units died. That's not the attack I'm scared of, but what I am scared of is coming up just about now. And you just got to be able to remember these little rotations that these bosses have. They're always the same. You don't really need to worry about it. But once you get attack patterns down and you could block this really big attack, you should be okay. And the name of the game is keeping your DPS alive. That's all it is. That's why I have 3 heals instead of, you know, 1 attack or 2 attack speeds and 1 strength up. It's really about staying alive in order to do the DPS, because your units will die in just like 1 to 2 hits. And if you're lucky and maybe you dodged one, or there's some sort of weird sidestep mechanism that I can see Warbear do sometimes, if you're not done in 1 or 2 attacks, it'll definitely happen on the 3rd. So make sure that you have those heals, and make sure that if you find that around the end of Outland Battle that you are only about 8 to 10% away from getting a victory and claiming those rewards, because if you don't actually beat the stage, there are no rewards. It's just a waste. Make sure that you play out your match and you get as much damage as possible when you're doing these Outland battles. Man, this is insane, man. So right now I'm doing a pretty good job of staying alive. Thankfully, he is staying in the corner right now. He shot his little rocks at me. But look, and then see, that's the thing. Even if you are ranged, he does the little dash attack and you end up right in the field of fire. And it just does not look good. But I think that I'm going to go ahead and beat this guy for sure. Titan looks like he will go down. Not now, but definitely eventually. I'm doing about 8 to 10%, and I'm pretty okay with it, man. I am not feeling bad about this at all. It looks like I'll beat him and maybe even the next boss, and I will be on my way to beating Outland Battle in normal mode completely. Now, you might be wondering, Anecdotal, you have 10 tickets. Man, that's so many Outland Battle tickets. Believe me, it is not. So many people in my server have 10 tickets by now. And that's really just from going up and not even farming. It's just from playing airship mode to completion. Getting up to J10 if you possibly can, or somewhere around the J's. Maybe J3 or J4. I know some people are getting stuck somewhere around there. But there's just so many stages now that just by doing it, you get enough friendliness for elves and orcs and humans, even if you don't mean to. And you will end up getting enough friendliness to get enough tickets to get 10. So that's what happened. I wasn't purposely farming elves so I can get Outland Battle tickets, though it does sound nice. Eventually I will do that, but as far as friendliness goes, undead, because I'm using the undead meta and I need more medals for the undead. And after that, 100% it will be humans, because I need to unlock those quests in order to level up more. So that's where airship mode plays a role here in order to get tickets, because you need elf friendliness to get the Outland Battle tickets. I think that without those extra tickets a day, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to beat all of normal mode. But no matter who you are, because Outland Battle does not require you to be at a certain knightage level, you should, I'd say, be able to beat the first 17 stages if you include Warbear, which is available in the Honor Shop unit, and Shadow Knight. I've noticed for guild raids as well, if you put them on your team along with Valkyrie, that you're really just gonna see a huge spike in DPS. You're gonna notice there's a huge difference. The Outland Battle meta has completely shifted. The raids, the boss raid battles have completely shifted, and they all have Shadow Knight and Warbear as people that you need to have for you to be more successful, because the setups, they're just the mark of death that's used, and the other buff, I forgot the names, but these buffs that they give, they're just crazy, man. They you do like an X amount more damage, and if you can keep Warbear alive, you do a lot more damage too. So as long as you can keep these guys alive, you can see there's just buffs everywhere. You see the blue paw, you see the black little darkness looking thing everywhere. You also see the Valkyrie buff everywhere. All of this is stacking, and I'm keeping myself alive. So you see the plus sign for healing, and it also gives immunity, which is awesome. And I feel that they should label. They didn't really label that. We kind of had to figure this out. Or maybe they do and I just don't know where it says it. But it is crazy the amount of buffs that you see just flare up and pop up in order to beat this. So here I am, almost at the end of beating Outland Titan here. And I'm just kind of looking over at things, seeing if I could use someone else, but it doesn't look like it. But the guys that I really do like to use here, and normally, since the meta before was just all Valkyries and Flame Spirits, which I still think is somewhat viable if you have a large amount of Flame Spirits and Valkyries due to trans points, you still can get just as high if you T3 a few of them, and I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. But there's just more benefit to doing it to Shadow Knight because of the revival team and the amount of buffs that you can get through the revival team giving you more medals. And of course, because units are about to start seeing their 5-star pets. So I know Colby for me is really close, somewhere in the hundreds, I believe. So a lot of these little units are about to kind of work in the same way or the same manner that raid units work, where they are going to start producing more of the damage. But until we get them and we see what an awakened small unit can do, let's not worry about that too much. But for sure, Shadow Knight and Warbear, ooh, these are two additions to Endless Frontier that have completely shaken up the meta, and it is just so fun to see such a large amount of buff being placed in all of your teams. It's insane. It is crazy, especially, you know how long we've been using the same raid team? When you're doing an actual raid, I'm telling you, I think I've done maybe 8 to 10% more damage. I know that's the same amount of damage I'm doing now, but if I was unable to beat, I know a lot of people have issues with flying bosses, so if you're unable to beat Harpy and there's usually 10 life left, or maybe you find that you're doing close to no damage at all, because right here, these stages, I was doing about 3% damage. Seriously, 3. And now with the addition of Warbear and Shadow Knight, I'm up to 8. Which is insane, especially thinking of the fact or looking at the evidence here that I don't last very long in these fights. So they're all getting super buffed, they're attacking as much as possible, and then it's just they're dying off. So the DPS where it comes to the amount of damage I'm doing per second is insane. It's huge. So what I did here in this last stage, even though Bilal's strongest attack is, once again, when you see those fireballs, you see that he spits out fireballs. Once they land on you, it's pretty much over. Every other attack isn't much. So the little shout does a bit of damage. Usually I would cut it off, but this guy does a bit of damage. So I'm going to keep the skeleton here. Yeah, that fire finishes you off. The little stomp he does a good amount of damage, and so does the roar. But the ones that you don't really care too much about is his blowback, kind of like how Harpy does a little blowback, and his little dig. So right here where he kind of digs at the floor with his mouth, that's not a huge amount of damage, so I usually just try to take that and live with it. But since this is stage 20, he is pretty strong. So what I decided to do to get the most amount of damage and said whatever to attack patterns is every other attack I would heal. So I would take some damage and I'll be in half health or less, and then right when the next attack is coming I would heal to try to be able to be immune to 2 attacks, and then I'll take the next attack, be around half or below half health, and then I'd heal again. So taking that hit, I'll take 1 hit, and then here I'm gonna heal, and now I'm gonna go ahead try to take another hit. Before this hit I'll heal, that way I can be alive for as long as possible, and there's just nothing else you can do about it without doing the little pause trick. I don't like doing the pause trick. I don't really feel that it's a mechanic for the game that's supposed to be used in such a manner. If you do it, I don't care. Like I said, this isn't really much of a competitive mode when it comes to like players versus players. Sure, you can get some more fragments for pets, and in the long run that will help you, but as long as you're not stealing someone's position or something, I'm okay with it. But I don't do the pause trick. I'm not 100% sure even how to do it. I think you just like double tap or something and you come back in, but I don't know if you lose your units or what. I know a lot of people also do it for the 4th raid, but in the guild that I'm in, we can clear that raid without using tricks. So, you know, just play the game the way it was meant to be played. If you feel that you need to click the home button, exit your game, come back in, do a skill, exit your game, you're not playing the game as it was intended to be played. And here I am, man, really feeling like who knows? Like, will I beat Bilal? Will Outland Battle normal mode be beaten here? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm definitely gonna go for it. And if I wasn't saying that I was going to be Outland Battle, I would definitely have shifted to hard, press complete now for the first like 6 stages or so, and collected those fragments. Do not do this. It is definitely not worth it. I don't know if you get something for beating it. I would love it if you do. Like if you beat Outland Battle complete mode, or I mean you completed normal mode completely, that you would get some sort of reward, because this is a challenge, man, and I'm still working my way up to taking him out to halfway down when I could just go to hard mode. It's really something I'm thinking about, but no, I said I would beat it, so I'm going to beat it. And I'm also just thinking, should I get Shadow Knight real quick, because ooh, a couple of trans points would help Shadow Knight. It would only be about 3%, so I don't know how much 3% would really help. But here you go, Valkyrie from downtown doing it. Now before I used to use Steampunk, so he would be attacking from downtown as well, just doing what he can do. Now you might see over here that it doesn't show that Shadow Knight is in the top there, but believe me, with that buff that he does, believe me, he's doing it, and he's doing it well. So Bilal, here we are again, past half health. Oh, I think we got this, man. You might be at 45% now, but soon you'll be at 39. Oh man, let's see how much damage I could take out. So it was right about 45 and some change before, and I got right about 5% now after using all my heals, which means that I'm gonna go down now. Now it's at 39. Whew. So that's about 6%. Oh man, 6? Really? Is that what it was? Okay, we're at 39. Is it really 6%? Is that what I'm doing? Oh man, let's see if I can really get these heals down the right way. So that's 3%. That's 4. Ooh man, this is Yeah, yeah, definitely just go to hard mode. Definitely just go to hard mode. So I went ahead and I got myself to 33. So that's about 6% again. So it's gonna be a while. It's gonna take a bit of time to go ahead and finish this guy off. But I definitely know that with the tickets that I have, simple math, as long as I don't mess up in the heals and die in 2 hits and I'm unable to use heals, Bilal's going down. So I'm saying it now. I'm saying it proud. Bilal is going down. So this big horn dragon that refuses to fly and stay stuck to the dirt is going down. Look at that. And it's always ending like this. It's always ending with Valkyrie here at the end. And then look, there's a Hammer Knight here. Hammer Knight and my homie, the skeleton. Oh, he got the revive. He got the revive, the buff from Valkyrie. He was just close enough when he got tipped back to get the buff. Oh, look at that. He's there. Ooh. Ooh. Feel it. Feel it. Stay alive, Valkyrie. Stay alive. And I heal you. What's good? I got the 3rd heal. Oh, come on. I totally clicked it. Alright. Okay. So, honestly, I didn't do anything differently there. I just got a little lucky and was able to use some extra heals. Now, if I could look at the amount of units on him right now, and with 1 attack, look at that. His blowback is not a strong attack, but so many of my units got taken out there. That's what happens when I try to play more intelligently. Yeah, the name of the game, I think, is to keep my units alive and just to heal as quickly as possible then. Maybe I'll just take one. I'll just keep healing. I'll take 1 hit and then start healing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the greatest thing to do here is. Yeah. So that attack was nothing because I entered. My Warbear did a little sidestep. I didn't even heal it in time. And look at that 1 attack. Like, okay, I'm gonna heal on this next attack. Wait for it. Bam. Yeah. So it looks like I have a good amount of units here. Look at that little infantry still there. And then, wow, just the 2 Valkyries. Now, why is that Valkyrie so much closer than the other? Huh? Why is that? Why couldn't he stay back? Or she stay back? And then my homie, the skeleton, just doing what he can do. Do your thing. Do your thing. Just keep getting him. Get him in the neck. Yeah, he's going down, guys. The Goliath is going down. Take it, man. My slingshot will take you down, Goliath. It will. So 15%. Looking at what I have been able to do, it should be about 3 to 4 attacks, and he should go down. Look at that. 3%. Right around 4%. Come on, 5%. Bam. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. 7? Oh, he was at 15, guys. He was at 15. Things are going well in this attack. Things are going well. Ooh. Oh, can I get him to just a flat 7? Just you somehow. Oh, wow. Just Valkyrie. Get him to 7. Okay, 7.25. Not bad. He was at 15 before. Now he's at 7.25. That means I can do it all in 1 attack right here. I could do it. 7.25%, 1 attack. Keep all my units alive. Press this heal button. Everyone's alive. Everyone's attacking. Let's go. Let's do this. Everyone's still alive. Okay, as long as he doesn't destroy everyone in a huge mass. Oh, he does. Come on. 7.25 in 1 attack. Don't do this. Don't do this at 0.01%. All right. And there you go. There you have it. Bilal destroyed. Outland Battle completed. And you know what? We can do this, man. We can still get. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm pretty sure I can just beat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? What's the point in actually fighting this? I got all of Outland Battle in normal mode completed, man. And how many other people in my server has done this, by the way? Is there a lot of people? Yo, look at that. Top 40. Shout out to Watercolor, the strongest person in my guild. Look at that. Big shout outs, bro. So if you like this video, man, make sure to like it, share it with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and anyone you know who plays Endless Frontier. And of course, if you want to see some more, endless frontier content, make sure to subscribe. I'm your boy Anecdotal, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.